These are my top Lattafa fragrances if you want to smell just as good, if not better, than designer or even niche options. If you want something that's affordable and you still want it to be high quality, these are some fragrances that I have tried and tested. I've had other people experience these as well. So if you're looking for a new perfume, just watch this video. I have options for men and women. If this is your first time watching, hi, my name is Anya. I love fragrances and I post on here every single Wednesday along with bonus videos in between. A big reason why I really like to go for the affordable fragrances is sometimes if you are trying to introduce someone to the world of fragrance, a lot of fragrances can be a little bit expensive, and I firmly believe that at some point you're paying for quality. However, if you're just starting out, these are some fantastic options that I recommend to my friends, to people in my life who really want to have a phenomenal fragrance. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first one is rather a classic. This is Nebras by Lattafa. This fragrance went viral and for a very good reason. It's such a beautiful take on a kind of like a powdered cocoa note with red berries, a bit of mandarin at the top. It settles down so beautifully. You definitely get the red berries and the chocolate throughout the life cycle or throughout the cycle of this fragrance. It's really such a beautiful perfume. So if you are someone that really likes gourmand fragrances, but you don't necessarily want to pay for anything that's like up there, but you want something that's like, say, better than Our Haupt's Chocolate Musk, which has been going viral, this is like your mid-range chocolate fragrance. So I definitely recommend this one. It's a must-have if you're interested in chocolate fragrances. And I also love the bottle as well. This next fragrance is more of a masculine option. I tested this perfume with some of my friends that were in town lately, and I just wanted to get their take on what's in my collection because there are some fragrances that they had never smelled, and they have like a very unbiased view on perfumes. So they have tried some expensive perfumes, they have tried some affordable ones, and they really are good at giving me their opinion. So I wanted them to try Aan Silver, and they gave it like a very high marks. They were very impressed with it. This is a beautiful unisex perfume that focuses very much on lavender. So lavender is present in a lot of masculine fragrances, but I personally believe that this is a unisex fragrance. It's very zesty, it's very punchy, it's very refreshing. So you have mandarin and bergamot. Those are the top two notes I smell here. It has like a bit of a woodier base. So yeah, I feel like this is a terrific option if you are a guy and you tend to really like your freshy aromatic perfumes, but you want something that's a little bit more solid, something that will last all day. This is terrific. And the bottle design itself is absolutely stunning. You wouldn't even think this is like more of an affordable fragrance. This is amazing. They have the Aan Gold, and I've tried that perfume, but I don't have it in my collection because, quite honestly, I'm not a huge fan of like that fragrance for me personally. I think this one, in my mind, is superior, and it also happens to be a lot more affordable than the gold version because it has yet to go viral. So if you're interested, definitely check this one out. So, Aan Silver. This next perfume is one that I have not given enough screen time to lately. It's Shad, and when I tell you, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful, like slightly sweet white floral fragrance, but it's more on the tart side. So if you want a more like a classy or classic interpretation of tuberose, kind of like kind of a grassy tuberose almost, this one is definitely one to try. It almost smells like a little bit of like a green fragrance, but it's a very classic interpretation of white florals. And truth be told, I am very much drawn to this fragrance. I haven't worn it in a while. This was kind of my go-to around this time, or actually no, more of a springtime last year. I was very much obsessed with it. And I think this smells very, very beautiful. It smells very elegant, and I really, really like it. It's white floral, so you have to like your kind of like grassier white florals to appreciate this perfume. And I think it's beautiful. It pairs well with some sweet powdery scents as well. So yeah, this is one that's so elegant. I picture this on someone who is maybe a slightly more mature, but I mean, I wear this when I want to feel like very elegant and very like put together. So Shad, kind of an underrated perfume in my opinion, but I definitely think the quality of this one is pretty good as well. This next one is good if you really, really love your powdery fragrances. This is quite a literal take on a baby powder perfume with some soft spiciness as well. I really, really like this one. It's a vanilla perfume, so it's a very powdery vanilla perfume with some soft spiciness in the form of notes like cardamom. So, if you're into that, this is definitely one to try. Ana Abiet Poudre, and I have made quite a dent in this one. This was one of my most worn fragrances of 2023 for a reason, because it's so comforting and so enveloping. If you like slightly kind of, I would say like vintage powdery perfumes that are, because I think the powdery accord is not something that's always like featured in the mainstream like new perfume releases. Powdery fragrances kind of make me think of more of like vintage interpretation of perfumery, and I like this one because it's just like a very comforting scent. Like I really appreciate this powdery vanilla scent because it's very comforting, and this is what I tend to go for a lot. So Ana Abiet Poudre, honestly, like this has been my go-to a lot because it's just a very comforting powdery fragrance, and it smells rather high-end. So yes, if you really like your powdery perfumes, give this one a try. Plus the bottle and the general like aesthetic of it is so beautiful. So yeah, here it is. With a lot of these fragrances, I would say they stand on their own against pretty much most designer perfumes. But there are a few fragrances in this selection that I consider just as good as niche perfumes. I don't know if I would say better than, but there's so many niche perfumes out there, and I would say this is better than a lot of them. And I might get a lot of flack from that, but this is Velvet Rose. So Velvet Rose is a beautiful take on rose and patchouli, labdanum. There's some musk and amber at the base. It's the type of fragrance that smells very elegant. It's almost like a jammy rose that turns very airy as the fragrance settles down. So I would say this is kind of like a champagne rose, almost like a sparkling fizzy rose. And it smells very high end. Yeah, I was impressed with this one, and you can tell how much I love it by again, the dent in this. This is such a versatile fragrance. It's on the lighter side, but it stays with you. So while it might not be like a heavy hitter, this is a perfume that I easily really want, like really tend to go for because it's so versatile, it's so easy. So I love it. If you like rose, you should check this one out because this is such a beautiful, elegant, unique rose fragrance. And I love like the faceted bottle too. I forget what this is called. But yeah, Velvet Rose. So pretty. I love this fragrance. Yeah, it's beautiful. The next fragrance is another vanilla. This is beautiful. My friends really enjoyed this one and they were very impressed. So I think I'm going to buy one of them a bottle. This is Eternal Oud. It's a spiced vanilla fragrance. Very beautiful. I love this perfume. It smells quite luxurious and I really like it. It's a spiced vanilla. It's a spiced vanilla, but kind of, I would say in the opening, it's a bit medicinal, so you have to be okay with that. But I personally really enjoy it. And I will say this, I very much like to try a lot of fragrances before blind buying them. And for some of these, you can actually get small testers on Amazon. I have them in my storefront. And you can basically purchase them for like $10. And that's how I initially tried this fragrance because I was kind of apprehensive about it. I wasn't sure if I'd like it. But then I bought it and I became obsessed with the tester. And then I finally bought the larger bottle. And I love it. This is totally unisex. I think this would smell great on men and women. And my friends really did like it. So yes, Eternal Oud, this is definitely a standout in my personal opinion. And if you like your spicier vanillas, this is one to try. We're talking about Aan Gold by Lattafa. There's nothing not to like about this fragrance. I'm sorry, I said it. There's nothing not to like about this. Of course, if you don't like your orange blossom, don't buy this. But if you happen to love orange blossom and really rich, decadent florals, and you happen to really like something kind of like a citrusy floral, get this. Get this. To give you context as to like the nature of these florals, I would say this falls into the same category as My Way and L'Interdit, just in terms of having like those like really rich, enveloping honeyed florals. This is a beautiful take on Orange Blossom that to me smells like caramelized citrus. It is insanely good. There's nothing I can say about this perfume that's negative. It is so amazing, and I do not know why more people don't talk about it, because it is, in my opinion, one of the best creations Lattafa has ever come out with. I remember smelling this for the first time, and I was just blown away by it. So if you love Orange Blossom, this is a beautiful fragrance to try. I think it's amazing. This is good. This is very good. And I remember when I first started talking about this on TikTok, and people didn't really know about this perfume, and then people started buying it, and people became obsessed with it. So Aan Gold, such a good fragrance. They also have Aan Silver, but I like the gold. I think this is so good. A beautiful floral fragrance. It's amazing. The next one is a bit of a twofer. So, Oud for Glory by Lattafa is something that a lot of people really know and love. I have the amethyst version. This is one of the flankers. So the original Oud for Glory fragrance is amazing. However, it's not something that I wear. I gifted it to my friend, and he's obsessed with it. He gets compliments on it all the time. So if you're a guy and you're into something that has oud, it's a kind of like a dry fragrance, but has some sweetness in the form of lavender and saffron. It also has some spiciness in the form of nutmeg, and it lasts all day, and he gets compliments on it like crazy. Oud for Glory is that fragrance. This one is a flanker, and it's the one that I prefer because it has some sweetness in the form of rose and pink pepper. It's, again, a beast mode heavy-hitting fragrance, but when I tell you, this fragrance impresses me constantly, and I think this is like easily comparable to a lot of higher-end perfumes, just in terms of like how long-lasting this is. This is definitely not for the faint of heart. You have to like strong fragrances to like this one, but a little bit will go a long way. Literally one spray, and that's all you need. It's a heavy-hitting perfume. And, of course, I also recommend the Oud for Glory, the one in the black version, like the original one. But it's not something that I know I would not wear on a regular basis because it's not something that I would gravitate towards. But if you're a guy and you want something that's like a powerhouse, that also has a pretty nice bottle as well, that one is a great one to try. And like I said, my friend, is pretty much his signature scent. He wears all the time. He gets complimented insanely. Like, he literally, like, people like, stop him and ask him what he's wearing. So that's his experience with it. However, I really personally like this perfume for me. So Oud for Glory Amethyst is more feminine leaning than Oud for Glory, the original one, is, in my opinion, unisex. So yeah, that's it for this video. Those were my top options from Lattafa. I'm constantly looking for more perfumes to try from them. I know I've talked a lot about Middle Eastern fragrances on this channel, and I just think the reason why I'm so drawn to them is because they are so accessible and a great way for people to enjoy perfumes while on a budget. However, I'm very particular about the ones I recommend and the ones I keep in my collection because it can get a little bit much. And I like to diversify what I like. So I like to go for the affordable, but I also really appreciate niche perfumes as well. So it's nice to have diversity. Diversity is the spice of life. But thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.